Well, I don't know if I've mentioned that it is my birthday week. I can't imagine a more appropriate thing to do on birthday week than to talk about this beautiful deck that has entered our multiverse. And we will talk about this deck. I've got the designer ready to talk to you. Chris Hage is in the house. We'll bring him on in just a moment. I want to get just a little bit of news out of the way for those of you that have been poking around learnsleightofhand.com, interested in joining up the membership. We've got one more week left on our open beta to get in this thing at 50% off, and then we're closing down the doors, and probably on my birthday, so like next Wednesday. And then I'm taking a week off and we'll be locked down for September. So if you are interested in this jam, and if you've had a hiccup over the last couple days or two getting in here to join the thing, well, now everything's running smooth and it's the time to do so. The bonus of doing it now, not only getting the 50% off, but, you know, helping us build a better university for future Magi. And in essence, you will be getting a free month in doing so. But hey, I'm not here to just ramble about that. I just had to get the news out because if I don't say it, no one else will. Let's get to the plan at hand this evening. Bring the man on. I've got all the kindred spirits in the house ready to see this gentleman. And I'll just say, hello, Chris. And I want to say Hage, but you can tell me, Chris.
Haga.
God, not even close.
Now you got it right a year ago. Now you got to practice for another year.
Did I say? How did I get Haga a year ago? It's Hage.
Through training,
right?
Hage,
and no one gets it right the first time.
Never.
Or the third time.
Yeah, that's okay.
I was on YouTube the other day mentioning this stream, and as I went to say your name, I realized I didn't know for sure how to pronounce it. I guess three things. Not even close.
Hey, that'll be a good. We could do a contest. Who gets it right the first time in a year from now, if they can.
Yeah, right. Someone comes up and like says, "Hello, Chris Haga," at your dealer table or something like that.
I'll give you a free brick of cards. If you do that.
We've got lots of excited people in the chat tonight. We've had people hanging out, you know, for a while there. Look who's here. Scott Link's in the house. Alex is in the house. What's up, Alex?
Nice.
Phoenix Does Magic. Jeff Fahrenheit. Harley, what's up, man? You must be up late over there in the other side of the planet. He's in the UK. GP Magic sent me a birthday gift. Look at this. Hold on. Look at this crazy cat I got in the mail from Gary.
Wow, that's
cool. You know, I like my cats. He sent me a birthday cat.
That's a good one.
And a deck of cards.
Straight out of Hocus Pocus.
It's going on the shelf. I just, you know, I got to carve a slot for that. So all the kindred spirits are here to talk about playing cards, design, production, and of course, in particular, this birthday deck, which you're launching today. Let me put myself in the forefront here. And this is Chris Hagas. I can't even say it now. How to say it. This is Chris's new birthday back playing cards. He's launching them today. And a couple of weeks ago, he said, "Hey, Doug, you want to look at the deck?" And I was like, "Of course I want to look at the deck. That thing looks great." And that led us to where we are here.
Yeah, so I appreciate you having me on too. Yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
And thank you for carving out time. I'm sure today has been busy. You actually, I'm guessing, I don't know exactly what goes into a playing card launch, but maybe by the time this stream's over, I will.
Yeah. It's been busy with this and life in general, you know,
you're a family man too, right?
That's right. So we had, you know, normal stuff today too, like soccer practice and those kinds of things today. So, but yeah, we launched today at noon. They went on sale on the website. So
yeah, I'll poke over to your website. We'll take a look at WonderCraftCards.com, which is linked up in the description of this video, and here you can find all of Chris' offerings, the birthday deck for sure, and you've got some good promos going with that as well, and you offer a wide variety of original playing cards and other cards as well, it seems. Yes,
that's right. Yeah, we have decks that we produce ourselves, and then we have decks from other producers also on the site. It's a good mix, you know, and I don't get every deck that you see out on the market. I get ones I think look cool. I'm also a collector, so I like the ones you see usually on the website are ones that I also collect.
Yeah, there's some beautiful cards here. I'm not surprised. So how many decks have you produced through WonderCraft Cards?
So we have done, I think, 8 unique decks and then multiple variations of those decks.
And
yeah,
when did you start with this deck production?
Well, we started it back in 2016 with the original Tricks deck, which is that deck.
Tricks, and that's the convention Scott Robinson holds in Charlotte, North Carolina.
That's right. That's the original Tricks deck. That's the Carolina Close-Up Convention in Charlotte. It's November the 7th, I think, starts this year.
You know what we could do is just pop over there for a second and see what's going on over at Tricks this year.
Yeah,
November 7th through the 9th. I saw you there last year. You were a dealer at this convention. Will you be set up again as a dealer?
I will be set up as a dealer. I'll have all the decks there. Huge variety of cards. Yes, I'm part of the Slight Club group. There's Scott Lincoln chiming in as well. He does the audio for the convention.
Just working man in audio that weekend. Scott doesn't get to do anything fun. He was working the demos last year too with his policy release.
Exactly. The policy release was last year. Yes. So yeah, everybody kind of has a role, in the convention.
Yeah, it's sponsored by Slight Club. This convention, this epic gathering. I don't feel like I need to give it too much news because it sells out every year, and rightfully so because it's awesome. Not just the event, but the people that come to the event. The attendees are a who's who of magic. It's just phenomenal to who you bump into in the halls.
Totally agree. That's probably the best part about the whole thing.
Yeah, the sessions. Although, man, last year the shows just blew my mind.
Yeah, the shows were great. Yeah, we were two shows last year for the first time.
Was that the first time they did two?
Yeah, Friday and Saturday, and they were great. Yeah.
Man, I left a changed man that event. Zabrecki alone was enough.
Yeah,
watching Rob Zabrecki go to work.
That's right. That's right.
Man.
So yeah, that's come up in November. So that's how I got started. I did the first deck for Tricks.
I have one of these. I guess I picked this one up from your table. Which one is this one?
Yeah, that's the 10-year anniversary decks for the convention. So we did that. I think that's what that one was. Now I'm forgetting which year we did those.
So you've done a few for the con. Have you done?
That's right. That's right. So I did that. I don't know, 3 years ago for that one. And so we got a couple of versions of that. There's a gilded version for that one as well. So, and what we wanted to do is really just kind of change the back a little bit, get away from the paisley look on the original one, and go to a more traditional design. And it's actually what the vision originally was the inspiration was the artisan deck from Theory 11. That was really what that was.
Oh yeah,
supposed to be based on. You kind of see some of the similar ideas with that back design. So yeah, that's that deck. It's a super cool deck. United States Playing Card Company, standard faces and court, so you can use it for all kinds of magic. So that's what that deck is.
Love the standard faces, but I also really love the metallic look. I'm gonna get these Wondercrafts on my screen here. This is like your flagship deck, right? The Wonder Playing Cards. What a great deck this is. And I have a deck of the red ones I've about wore out. I don't even know.
And a quick story on this. So this was going to be another version of the Tricks deck. And
this design here?
It originally was, and it's paisley for a reason, because Scott loves paisley.
Oh, Scott, that's right. Scott's a paisley guy.
But I didn't want to do a flat paisley design. And so what I decided to do on that is have that stacked paisley is what I call it. And it's a really cool, I've never seen anybody do it, but it's a really cool 3D effect on the back.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It really is nice.
Yeah. So that was the impetus for that one. And yeah, it's cool.
And then the metallic ink on here is just enough. It's like just makes that card pop out. And in my experience, sometimes this metallic process can gum the cards up a little bit, but man, these handle like butter. What is that?
I agree. And what we did on these, we used the premium metallic ink from Pantone. So I'm not sure if that changes anything with that at all, but But the shimmer is just fantastic. I don't know if you can see that one. This
Let me
is
get
from
you
the
up
red
here.
version.
Yeah,
That's
it's real
another
nice.
just, and we use the exact same color that's on this on the birthday back.
Yeah.
And it looks like cold foil. I mean, it's really awesome.
So
Yeah.
there's gold foil, which is kind of laying that on the card, and then there's a premium metallic ink that's the other.
Yeah, there's from a process standpoint, there's ink. So this is an ink process that you see on United States Playing Card Company cards for the most part. All of the ones we produce from USPC have ink. So it's like any other ink, except it's metallic. And then you have two types of foil. There's a cold foil and a not cold, hot foil. So it's a hot foil, which is a stamp process that applies the foil.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll see a little bit of a indentation on a card. Or
So that might have been where I've seen some decks that I was less than happy with when I'm doing magical things. Like I could see collecting them and nice visuals, but once you start handling the cards,
you can sometimes notice that. And so the cold foil is a much more expensive process, and it's a completely different technique to get the foil on the card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, man, whatever you're doing here is beautiful, and the cards handle great. So keep winning with that. I'm going to recommend everyone. We're going to talk about the birthday deck, but if you go buy these Wonder cards, how many colors do these come in?
So we've got the blue, which is the original, and we only have a few of those. I don't even know if we have those on the site anymore. We've got the red, which is absolutely my favorite. We've got.
Whoa, sorry.
Yep,
sorry.
We've got a green and a purple. I don't know if you see the purple there. Yeah. Got the green and the purple.
Nice.
Yeah, they're super cool, and that back design, I don't know, it's intriguing.
I'm still learning tech here, Chris. All right. So, questions. I want to get through some of your process on bringing a deck from like concept to getting it to your customers, and maybe we can just talk about this birthday deck and I give an example of how do you come up with this brilliant idea and bring it to market?
Yeah, well, the original, all these things are just ideas in my head originally, right? And going back to the tricks deck, even it was just an idea. And I'll show you some other decks we've done that are they start with an idea and a concept. And so this one originally was, I wanted to create a deck to give to people on my insiders page on Facebook, just the secret page we have on Facebook. I'm like, what a great way to celebrate people's birthdays, to give them a deck of cards. These are people on my insiders page. They love playing cards. So why not give them a deck? So I was like, okay, well, let me design one for that. And then I was like, well, I used to do, magic a lot in restaurants and birthday parties and all that. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I was still doing that, to give a deck of cards to the birthday boy or the birthday girl at the restaurant or at their birthday party, do a trick with it, and then give them the deck as a gift. So then that kind of spurred other ideas, right? And so then I said, like, well, how do you celebrate a birthday? Well, you eat a cupcake. So I'm like, all right, we need a cupcake on this thing. And so I came up, I put the design together and sent it over to the custom card division at Bicycle, and the rest.
So you put the design together.
Yeah.
How does that happen? What do you got, like Oompa Loompas or in the corner?
I do have Oompa Loompas.
I know Scott's a Willy Wonka guy, so you might loan those out.
Okay. The truth is, it takes so many people to produce a deck of cards.
Oh. Okay.
And I'm not a great illustrator at all. As a matter of fact, I learned how to use Adobe Illustrator in 2016 when I did the first deck. I can do some basic art, but using the tools of the trade is important, right? So I learned how to do that, and some Select Club members, I don't know if any of them are on, actually showed me the ropes on how to do that. So to produce something like this, and backing up a little bit. So I used to do all the work, all of it. And even for this one, the cupcake, this one is not complex. I mean, all the layout. I mean, you get the bicycle logo. You can't alter that. The main thing with this one is figuring out the layout. How do you want this to feel and look aesthetically? Right? Are really the decisions you have to make on a deck like this.
Right. Like these have there's some embossing, some raised accents on the tuck case.
And on this one, you don't have to do that. This one is a standard United States Playing Card Company tuck.
Yep.
So the one we're all familiar with. It's the same one they use for every standard rider back deck. So, I mean, then it's just choices, right? It's artistic choices. Like, do we want to have custom faces? Do we want to have metallic ink? Do we want to have, you got to have the legal language on the inside of the tuck. You want a custom seal. So that was the other thing is I did a contest on my page to kind of say, what should we say on the seal? We wanted a custom seal. So we went with Make a Wish. So I did the design on the seal.
It's such a nice little Easter egg there.
Yep. Yeah. So you're blowing out the candle to make a wish for your birthday.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I told you I was going to try that candle vanish. I've got wax all over my monitor and I burned myself.
Oh no.
So I got about 3 takes in today and I said, that's getting the heave ho. I filmed a little short video with Chris's birthday deck today. I'd show it, but we get copyright strikes and I'm not going there. So y'all go watch the shorts.
But so this one is then it's like, all right, so what is a birthday? What's a birthday deck without a Joker with a cupcake?
Yeah.
Right. And I was thinking of magic again. So you'll see there's 3 Jokers in there. One with a lit candle, one with a flame that's extinguished, and one with no candle.
Yeah.
And a double backer. And the idea is that you can do a magic trick to either make the candle appear.
Well, you can do like I have 2 Jokers. You could do a little flustration here. Show 2 Joker cupcakes and say, how old are you? 2 years old? Well, I got 2. That's a simplistic idea, right. But that's the idea, right? Exactly. You could have like cupcakes without fire, and then the candles up here. They're upside down, but I'm also not practicing. And
exactly. And then you can, and then the double backer is just, it's an added piece to your arsenal. So I came up with that design. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know. I think it turned out really cool. It's a cupcake.
It's like the cupcake version of the Ace of Spades.
It is. That's my favorite part of the deck. Probably right there.
Yeah.
Is the Ace of Spades.
Yeah. Well, I adopted to use the Erden Ace. It's kind of a cop out after I burned myself. And then when I moved the Joker, the candle was right there on the Ace of Spades. And I said, that's the transition I'm going with.
Perfect. That's what you need.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so maybe an ace without the candle would be cool. That might be good. That's another.
Yeah.
Maybe for the second version, we'll do that.
Look, I'll return to this deck for V2. It's always hard to get everything you want done in a video.
Yeah.
So this is the gold ink that you talked about that's on these cards as well. Mm-hmm. Yep, it just pops. It looks great. So you have a darker. I wouldn't say this is a black, but what like a slate gray kind of, or.
It's a
is it black?
It's a blue. It's a dark blue. They're all blues.
Yeah. So these are the colors: the reds, the reddish, and the blackish.
Right.
The darker blue and the lighter blue. Kind of a cobalt.
Right. And they feel good. My son and my wife and I have been playing cards with them, and they're
what is the finish on these cards?
Very different. I'm sorry.
Air cushion finish.
Air cushion finish. Yeah. Yep. Bicycle deck.
It felt very familiar to me. Standard bikes are my favorite. They're my workers. When I go to work, I'm using bicycle red most of the time, and this is super familiar. So if you're used to handling bicycle cards,
bicycle classic stock, traditionally cut, so you can do a Pharaoh face up. It's great.
Yep.
And I'm glad you like it. I mean. Sometimes you never know kind of how things are going to turn out, and I'm happy with this.
It's a beautiful deck. It's a great concept. I'm assuming you're winning today with this launch, and I would hope some kindred spirits watching here are inclined to go pick up a couple of decks. You told me like you've been talking about this insiders deal, which I guess you joined the Facebook page. Is that what?
That's right. Yeah, we have a link on our website that takes you to our insiders page on Facebook, and it's a place that we share ideas on future projects. We collaborate with each other. Doug's on there. It's a safe place to share any idea, right? So if you got an idea for a deck, or I've got an idea, I'll share you pre-concepts, and then we talk about it.
And then that's how you know about things like this. And like you were giving away a brick of cards to the insiders. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I still got to do that drawing. Yeah. It's been a crazy few days, but I still got to do I still got 2 drawings over there I've got to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're giving away cards all the time over there, doing,
I asked this question because, what is it? The first Friday of every month you do like a free deck. Yep. What is it?
Yeah. First Friday of every month, you place an order on the website, spend $30 and we throw in a free deck. So there's a free mystery deck with every order. First Friday of the month.
It's probably at least a $10 value, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, some are way more than that. Yeah, I mean, I threw in a $40 deck last week on one.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of those decks come from my personal collection, and it's just
I get it.
A nice bonus for folks.
You know what I want to look at while I'm here briefly is your beautiful merchandise. Did I pass it over here? Here's the merch link. Man, I love your merch. I was telling you before the stream, I got one of these for my stepson. He wears it all the time. That's
what we hear. That is the common feedback on those hoodies. I mean, and we love them too. While we're when the weather cools off, I mean, we wear those all the time. They're super soft.
Yeah, and they're not too heavy, right? It's like not too much. So
that's right. And you were asking me earlier, and I'll just say it while we're on. These prices are very low for some of these things.
They're unbelievably low. $30 for a hoodie? Are you kidding me?
Because anytime you buy a hoodie from us or a shirt, any kind of merch, we give that money to charity.
Come on now.
Yeah. So that's why the prices are what they are. I want people to buy the shirts, and then we help one of our the foster closet here in town.
Okay, y'all. So everyone go buy merch and decks, and then everyone wins.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful thing. Cool.
So what else are you interested in? You wanted to talk more about production. So
you have the idea for the deck. You design the deck. You got the illustrations ready to go. Now what?
Yeah. So, and I will just say, getting the illustrations and the artwork done takes a long time. It can take a very long time. We just finished a project with Jody Eklund, who is a very prolific artist. And the deck is called Forged.
Oh yeah, that's on your site now, correct?
On the site now, we've got.
So this is an example where you'd bring in an artist to do more of the design, and
exactly
there's a collaboration, which is one of the questions I had been to ask if you do things like that. So
tons of collaborations all the time. Forged was a really super cool deck. It's nominated for Deck of the Year this year. So,
and could you speak on that a bit? Like, who does these nominations?
Yeah, so this one is nominated by the world's largest playing card association. It's called 52 Plus Joker.
That's
Lee Asher. Lee Asher is the president of the club. Right. We all know him. And,
well, that's the most reputable in my book.
It is.
If they're the one voting you the best, then you must be like.
So I was not expecting it, to be honest with you. We're super proud of the nomination.
Yeah, because that's a lot of competition, right? That's everything.
It's every deck that came out in the last year. So
which is what, 8 million decks? How many decks were released last year?
Yeah, I think it was 9 million. So we're proud of that. But the Forged one I was going to say, so we worked with Jody Eklund. He's just a prolific, fantastic artist. And so I had this concept, this idea of like, hey, why don't we could do this, right? And I had Forged was the title. That's all I had. And I had the concept that it was based on forged weaponry. And that was the concept, right? And so then we brainstormed some ideas. He drew this beautiful deck. I mean, it's fantastic. So you take that, and then over the years, you've built these relationships with manufacturers, right? I mean, tuck makers and card producers. I've used United States Playing Card Company. I've used Cardamundi before they stopped doing custom playing cards. I've used another company.
Is that not the same now? Did Cardamundi buy
Cardamundi bought United States Playing Card Company, but then Cardamundi so both companies had a custom card division.
Oh.
Cardamundi stopped doing their custom card work this past year, and so it's just not enough of a market for them to stay.
Wow.
So
too niche, huh?
Yeah, I mean they're doing all kinds of stuff. I think they're doing like Pokemon cards and everything else. They're huge. They're huge.
Right.
So
big enough to buy U.S. Playing Card Company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cash. So
yeah.
So it's big.
So not everything comes from U.S. Playing Card. So you might like have the box done one place and the cards done another. Is that?
You got it.
Kind of
you got it. So exactly. Okay. So let's go back to this one. Okay. This one is the Tuck, or the Cards United States Playing Card Company. But the Tuck was made by Clove Street Press in San Diego. Yeah, so that's an example. The blue one and the purple deck and that is the same thing.
So how does the deck end up in the box?
Okay, that's another great question. Something I overlook. Okay, so depends on the manufacturer. So I use a company now overseas in China called WJPC. They've taken all the custom work, most of the custom work. Them and another company I've used before, which is Legends, also in Asia.
All right.
They will package your cards. They'll do the tucks for you. Now but I like a company in Italy that made these tucks. Okay, so the Italian company will ship the tuck to China and they'll package everything for me. So they'll print
you'll have the deck printed by U.S. Playing Card Company and shipped to China?
I'll never do that. No.
Oh, okay. That would seem crazy. But
if I have a
different deck that's not produced here in the States.
If I have a deck that I think would be good for magicians, I'll use United States Playing Card Company.
I see.
If I have
the finish is a little bit more pertinent to the deck, is that?
Yeah, and it's a different feel. If you use it, it's more like a bicycle deck that we're used to, right? So those are one. If I think a magician would use it, typically I'll use United States Playing Card Company.
I love you even more, Chris.
I think about it, but these are decisions you have to make, right? And so if it's going to be more for a collector,
because a lot of card guys don't care anything about magic. They don't give a hoot about it, right? They just like the beautiful artwork and the collecting and all of this. And if it doesn't do a good fan, I don't care. You know? Exactly.
So, but those are decisions that you have to make along the way. And if it's not going to be for a magician, typically the card is going to be printed for me, it would be printed in China.
Yeah.
Because they'll do the cold foils and do all that work.
Get all the crazy stuff. And I have an understanding you can get a smaller print run done, maybe.
You can get smaller print runs done. I mean, some of them are as low as 500 decks.
Wow. That's the lowest number I've heard, where like U.S. Playing Card Company is what, 2,500?
I think they're up to 2,500 now.
Yeah. So if you're looking to produce a deck, you can the lowest you're going to start with is 500, and that's going to take hundreds of hours, probably a couple people, and
exactly. Yeah, you got to have it's a big project, and people will reach out from time to time and say, "Hey, I want to produce a deck," and so we'll go. We'll go through a process of what do we need to do to get that approved, and.
Let me get a question here. Speaking about getting it approved, like when you have something like this with the bicycle logo on it, and I guess that's something Bicycle offers as a service, but you have an approval process with the U.S. Playing Card Company?
So to answer the question, it was instantly approved.
They're like, "You're brilliant. Let's go. Can I have a piece
They
of the
liked
action?"
it. I was shocked. I was very surprised. This is the first bicycle branded deck I've ever done.
Oh, okay.
And
that's where you would put their logo on there.
That's correct. That's right. Yeah. So it was instantly approved. So that's very good question. They're not always instantly approved, from what I understand. So, but yeah, that was a very, very fast process.
And once you get the approval from USPCC and you say, okay, we're going to go to print, what are you looking at from, like, say the production's done, you got everything approved. How long is it going to take to get these decks in your hands?
Oh, that's a great question. So usually 10 to 15 weeks. It was the total process.
About 3 months.
Right. Yep. That's typically, it depends on the schedule, what time of year, what's going on. I mean, And that's the United States Playing Card Company kind of timeline that I'm used to.
Will they send you like a deck to check out, or do you have to do that on your own, maybe through another situation? Like if you want a proof deck?
Well, no, you don't, but you do get a proof sheet. So you get an uncut sheet that's done with the layout that you approve ahead of time. But I've never.
And they're just their people are on the job too, right? So
yeah.
they're overlooking everything, and they're not going to let you go to print with junk. So
yeah, they've got an inspection process that they'll make sure it all works, especially with a bicycle logo. They want it. I mean, it's their brand, right? They want it to be good too. So yeah.
So when did this deck start for you? When did the creative process begin?
It was probably, I want to say, maybe a year ago. Was the well, maybe the concept was probably before that. Then I started really working on the design and what I wanted. Probably a year ago.
That's not too bad, but I would assume having some relationships with designers and probably the people at the card company and so on.
Exactly.
The process flow. Hey, I almost forgot you agreed to give a couple decks away tonight, right? You're going to give away a birthday deck to someone in one of your mystery packs?
That's right.
Let's roll and we'll collect some comments. Let me get my StreamYard giveaway tool up here. We'll make give someone an impromptu birthday today. I think it's appropriate we just do, let's do Wondercraft so everyone remembers where to go later. So there's what you type in, folks. If you are in the United States, Mr. Haga.
You got it. Hey, there you go. You're going to get
Chris
a brick
will pay
card.
your postage. If you're an international viewer and choose to enter this contest, you will be responsible for covering the postage. Yeah, this is for a birthday back deck and a mystery deck of Chris's choosing. So y'all type in Wondercraft. We'll do this drawing a little bit later. I'll give, we'll do this in about, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll wrap this thing up in the near future, but give people a chance to get into this thing.
It's good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good as long as you want to go. I'm good.
Man, I'm comfortable chatting, all night with you, but then I got my wife in there thinking I don't love her anymore because I've been live streaming on the internet every day this week.
You're a big deal, man. You got to stay online, right?
And it's birthday week next week. So if you are a regular, don't look for me at Wednesday because I'm going to be playing some poker in Biloxi. I'll be doing birthday things and adulting this week. That's awesome. Well earned, if you ask me. Probably going to bring this birthday hat that I wore in your short video. Wear this all weekend.
Are you a cupcake guy or a full cake?
You know what I am now is hangry because I'm on the keto diet.
Oh, you can't even have a cupcake. Holy moly.
Look, man, I'm trying, and I just started, so everyone's disgruntled. And I was not a good eater. Like, this is a total change for me. So, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I went and did some allergy testing recently, and I was convinced I was going to come back with it. I was going to be allergic to air and gummy bears because there's the two things I love the most.
So that's my wife, same skit. So it's one of the reasons we're going through this process. That everyone can live a little more healthier life.
Yeah, that's good. That's great.
All right, so let's wrap up the process here. The deck's at the U.S. Playing Card Company. It's a 3 months, and then what happens? You have 3,000 decks. What are you going to do with that?
Then they show up, and then I have a wonderful wife who handles all of our fulfillment, and customer interactions, and all that. So
you have a house full of playing cards.
We have a house full of playing cards.
How much is, like, if you get 2,500 decks? How many boxes is that?
It's
10 cases?
Yeah, it's like now you're gonna test me here.
You get a gross in a case?
It's not as many as you think. It's not as many as you
heavy.
Think. It's 17 boxes, 18 boxes. Yeah.
Is that like a gross in each one?
Yeah, there's a gross in each one. So 17, 18 boxes. And we have a few uncut sheets that we get. We only got 20 uncut sheets made with this deck.
I see.
Yeah. So yes, we have 17 or 18 boxes out there right now.
Now, I understand there are fulfillment centers that will do this for you. Have you gone that route before, or do you?
Yep. We have used Art of Play in San Diego. They will do fulfillment, and Sid over there is fantastic.
Now, is that
and
Dan and Dave, or did that company split, or is it Vanishing Ink, or what?
they split. So Sid Segal runs the fulfillment company. And so we've worked with Sid on all of the Wonder projects. As a matter of fact, he fulfilled all of those.
Oh, great.
And yeah, so I think he's still got a stash there, but he fulfills for a lot of big names and a lot of big companies.
It's a well-established business. The art
well established. He does a great job. I mean, they're an awesome, a fantastic company to work with.
Yeah.
Cool. And so that's, I was going to mention that too about this whole process is, and I touched on it just briefly. It's like part of the battle is just knowing who to call, who can you trust, building relationships with people. And that's the way a lot of business, at most businesses that way. But I would tell you here, you've got to, you know, I'm dealing with people in, I forget, there's someone on every continent basically working on these projects that I put together. I mean, there's people in Europe and there's people in Asia. There's people had a guy in Brazil do some artwork for me one time on a project, some 3D
and these
work.
are just people you meet along the way, huh? Like maybe they're on your Facebook group, or you meet them at the con, or.
Exactly. And you just kind of build a relationship, and it takes kind of that village to produce some of these great things. Sid's one of those other ones in the industry that's great to work with from a fulfillment standpoint. There's, you know, and then when you're dealing with the folks over in China for some of these decks for collectors, you've got to really, you know, figure out who you can rely on and who you can trust.
Yeah,
you got to build relationships, right? Because there's a language barrier usually,
So considering that these avenues in the Asian market are a little more reasonably priced, do you have a company that you'd recommend or two for someone that might be interested in going that way?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we use WJPC as the company.
You mentioned earlier, yeah.
And I've trusted them. I've got a great client, you know, relations person, and
cool.
She's fantastic. But there's a couple that you can use. I mean, Legends is another one. You know, we've done a deck with them before, and they're also great to work with. Those are probably the two I would recommend, having experience with them directly. Yeah.
Well, I think we've gone through the process. Did we miss a step? It sounds like a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. There's a lot of work, but it's fun. It's creative. It gets you kind of out of your element. I mean, the thing we didn't cover, there's always accessories. And we all will have pins, or we'll have coins.
Oh yeah, you do little giveaways with the deck. You got some swag to show there. What do you got there? What is that?
This was from Forge. I don't know if you can...
Oh, that's like a coin, huh? Nice.
See that? Yeah. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. So we have a company we work with and we trust that makes those. And then we have for the birthday backs, we've got, if you order this week, you'll get a sticker.
Love stickers. Right, nice
sticker. And then we've got these trading pins. These
cool,
really cool enamel pins that we're giving away. Those go with every order until we run out of those through this week.
All right. Yeah. There's a couple of questions in the chat I'd like to get to, and as I get to it, let's remind everyone, if you haven't typed in WonderCraft, you can win one of these decks. Probably get a little bit of swag in there too if you've got good karma. Let me see. Gaff cards and decks, you kind of touch base on that. Is the double backer kind of something you standardly include, or have you done anything weird with that?
Having a magic background, I'll usually include a double backer.
Yeah.
If I don't include a third joker or a third kind of gimmick card, it'll be a blank base card.
Yeah. This is interesting. Like, you do Kickstarters on your decks. Is that always a Kickstarter? And if not, how do you decide when to use Kickstarter?
Okay, so Kickstarter is I'm looking at some decks over here. The only time I have not done a Kickstarter is with the Tricks decks, because we have a convention, right? So there's an audience there, and then with the birthday backs, we did not do a Kickstarter for birthday backs because I feel like they have a wide enough appeal. The audience is there to kind of grab those. But generally, everything else is going to be a Kickstarter. And the reason,
like, I'm looking at this one here, and I also had someone ask, about this Jazz Riff deck. So you standardly will do a Kickstarter just as a business model. It's a good way to sell playing cards, huh?
It is, and the reason for that is because you get so many more eyes on it through the Kickstarter channel, just to see the product. People you would never expect to kind of look at your product.
Man, I can't wait to see these cards. Did you have a deck of these? Where did I see some of the faces of these cards? Was it here?
Well, I had them on the insiders page. So
that's where then. Well, here's one of them with the guy playing the sax. This is such a New Orleans deck, bro.
And this is if we're going to talk about that deck, it's going to be cool. And I've got the let me show you the gilding on one of these decks.
Oh, you got some in your hands, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And,
so yeah, buddy. Oh my, that's sexy.
That?
Yeah.
So
why Riff?
Why Riff? Why the name Riff?
Yeah,
man, that goes back. So this is a deck I've been working on for over 2 years.
Okay, 2 years.
I don't know. It's a musical term.
Yeah.
It's sort of a familiar component of a musical composition, right? That's repeated over and over, and that sort of is the vibe I'm going for this. This is not a deck that's going to be like I won't say the deck is standard by any means, but it let me show you this. It has a familiar feel, right? So when you can play it, like I hope people use these to actually play games. But the cards have a familiar look. Let me see if I can get that.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes these new custom decks, you have to kind of do the puzzle to figure out what the card is.
Yeah. And one of the things that I try to stick to is like making sure that the corner indices are legible, like so you can actually play with the cards.
Yeah.
Right. And then, but all the court cards are have this cool cold foil. And I'll tell you what the inspiration for this one.
Yum. Yeah. What?
Yeah. So and this one is supposed to be Dizzy Gillespie.
Nice.
And so Dizzy Gillespie is from my hometown, and so that was the inspiration. I was like, and a lot of these come from inspirations from my own personal life, like what and so I was like, let's do a deck that's inspired by Dizzy Gillespie. There's a statue in our town with him, and so that's where it started. That was flat out it, and I was like, well, let's just do a jazz deck based on Dizzy Gillespie. And this is it. Yep. So
that's hot. So it just seems like you're just getting gooder and gooder at what you're doing. So that's awesome.
Well, thanks. So we got jazz coming in October. We've got another one, Pied Piper, coming out in the first part of the year.
Pied Piper.
Another one based on my German heritage, and
okay.
Can't wait for you to see that. It's going to be.
Do you have a goal of X amount of decks per year, or do you just go with the flow?
One, maybe two. One, maybe two.
Okay.
And one big one.
Yeah.
Like that is like all in with like the coins and all.
You might be able to do this maybe in a pinch, design the back, not have to do the faces, get a simple tuck.
Okay. Exactly. The more complex ones I can only do one every year, every couple of years.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, understandably so.
Yeah, so one or two is probably my max.
All right.
Yeah. So what other questions do we have? Anything else over there?
Yeah. If there's anyone in the chat who there's one. Do you offer sheets? Nick wants to know. Dragon Tier. Good wall art.
We do. We do offer sheets, and Bo is on there. And Bo
does
can tell you.
Just save us some money.
But I don't know. Did Bo give us something? Awesome. So Bo has.
We're banking it up. Thanks, Bo.
Bo can tell you all about the uncut sheets. He's putting a wall together.
Nice.
Also, Drago, it looks like you're doing the same thing. But yeah, we have uncut sheets on the website. I did 20 on the birthday backs, and that's our max on those. I did not do any uncut sheets on the jazz decks.
What?
I know. I know. I know. I regret it already.
Can you go back and get those done?
No, I can't.
Oh.
no. We also have some for forged. We got 2 for forged, cold foil, red, and the gold. And then I've got some of the other ones. Yeah, they're. If you have any questions, if you don't see them on the website, you can ping me. And,
I'm going to re-encourage people to join your Facebook Insider group. I'm always happy to see your news pop up, and it's a very complimentary addition to Facebook. It's like, oh,
Thank
nice,
you.
yeah. And then plus, like, someone's going to get a free brick of cards. Come on,
yeah, exactly. Man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're giving away all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So okay, so speaking of giving away, let's give away this deck. Let me bring this giveaway tool up. We'll spin this wheel and see who's going to win these decks here. Nice birthday deck in the mystery pack. Here's our giveaway tool. Got a pretty good chance. 1 in 17. I'm hitting the draw button now. Good luck to the kindred spirits. I see you all. Hey, Benny Weber. Man, Benny's kind of lucky. That's the second time he's won a prize in about 2 months. But Benny's a cool cat and a supporter of LearnSleightOfHand.com and just a kind fellow in general. In fact, let me be blunt. He's the reason I started Cato. We were on a coaching session, and for the most part of the session, he coached me about the Cato. And I do believe in manifesting destinies and such, and the wife and I had been talking about this situation. So yeah, congrats, Benny Weber.
Benny Weber will get a birthday back and a mystery deck.
Fantastic. I have Benny's address. I'll send it to you after the stream, and if you could handle that, that'd be great.
Yep, I'll take care of it.
Happy to send that to Benny. Cool. So I guess if you've talked about future projects, here's one. Maybe if you have any advice for aspiring card designers or someone that wants to get in the game, is there something you could offer them?
My advice would be to just bite the bullet and do it. I mean, you're going to be happier if you just get it out of your head and try it. I mean,
maybe
and be okay. And be okay if it doesn't make it. I mean, there are so many decks. You can go on Kickstarter right now, and there are beautiful decks that are not going to fund, and it's a shame, but it's the reality. And but I would say
there's a lot of, like, I'm a retailer and I see what Murphy's Magic offers me, and I know they're only getting a percentage of what's out there, and it's.
Yeah, there's a ton out there that will not make it. But I would say the other thing is, if you do get the artwork done and you've got this great concept, you've got to build a community. You got to build a group of people who will support your work, or it won't be successful. It's just the way it works. It's rare for a brand new artist to show up and then hit a grand slam. So. My advice would be go for it, try it, be okay if it doesn't make it, but build a community way beforehand.
How about this? Let's say I have a deck that I want to make, but I just want to make a couple. I don't want to make 500. I just want to see it in my hands to see if I want to make 500. What would I do for that?
You would use makeplayingcards.com. That's what I use them. I'll do concept decks. I don't know if I have one here. I'll do concept decks with makeplayingcards.com.
I've heard that name before. What's the process on that like? Is it a fairly quick turnaround?
Very quick. It's very quick. It's the hardest part is just loading the artwork on the website, which is really not that hard. And one deck might cost you, depending on your finish and all that, might cost you $16 for a deck. But if you get 500, the price comes down.
Okay, so you could go that way, and then what? The cards maybe aren't USPC cards; they're maybe a little less.
No, but they're great. They're great quality.
They're great cards.
They're still great quality. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
cool.
for the Pied Piper, for example, I ordered maybe 12 decks of a sample version and of a pre version, and then got them in different finishes just to test the finishes, and they're great. And
cool. So makeplayingcards.com.
That's how I would use.
Yep. Fantastic. That's good information.
Yep. And you can also, I mean, if you have like gaff card ideas and things like that, are great for that too. They're not going to be, you got to figure out the finish that you want to make them match a USPC deck. But they have like air cushion finish. Similar, yeah, they do.
Similar?
You can't say air cushion finish because that's branded.
I see. What would I say then?
You would say embossed finish.
Embossed finish. Okay.
Yep.
Good to know.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's who I would use.
All
I
right.
use them all the time for different things. And if you have like other like packet trick ideas, they're another great company for that. If you got packet trick ideas,
So you don't have to print a whole deck, huh?
Yeah, or you could print. Yeah, you could print like 30 decks and just use the individual cards for your packet trick.
Just put like 10 tricks in each deck. Put like 10
as long as you, as long as the artwork is approved and all that.
Man, super cool.
Your artwork, yeah.
All right.
Let's see what else we have.
Do you have something?
Kickstarter. There's a question about Kickstarter. So Kicks, I don't know where that.
What is Kickstarter?
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah.
Kickstarter is a crowdfunding website.
There it is.
And so it is a, there it is. And yeah, it's a place for creators to put ideas out there and ask people to give them money to pledge, is what they call it. And they'll pledge a certain amount of money, and then that money goes to producing whatever it is that the creator has said they would produce. You might see things like playing cards, lots of playing cards, or board games, lots of board games on Kickstarter. There's some technology, lots of technology projects out there. And
do you ever see magic tricks? Do people do magic
yeah,
tricks?
there every now and then. Who was it? Was it Aaron Fisher that did the magic one a few years ago?
With the deck? With the Conjurer Community Project?
Yes, exactly. There was that project. There's been some other ones out there that have done Kickstarters.
All right.
TCC does a ton of Kickstarters.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's their whole business model. Yeah,
exactly.
It works well.
It works well. You just have to be ready because Kickstarter with the fees and all that, you're going to give away 10% just to Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But it gets a whole lot more eyes on your project, and it's a great way to start. As another way, if you don't have any capital to put into it, if you go to Kickstarter, if it gets funded, like that's the cash that you need to produce these things.
Yeah, you got to produce 500 decks. It's not like a walk in the park, right? You do something nice. It might be, $10,000 for.
You got it.
Like,
and the prices have only gone up over the years too. So
yeah, that probably won't change.
Yeah, see, Jeff Copeland is another one who's used Kickstarter too for his coins.
Okay, yeah, Copeland. We love Jeff here. All right. I think we've had a good chat, man. Do you have anything else you want to talk about here?
No, I think we've covered. I appreciate you having me on. Again, glad it coincided with your birthday, so that's also good.
I'm winning twice here, so I want to go back to your site one more time. WonderCraft Playing Cards. Y'all can go get this birthday back and I've already got ideas for magic themed tricks with it. I've got a version of the date book that I do, and I'll be using this as to reveal someone's birth date and a magic trick. And
awesome. That's a great idea. That's a really good idea.
I've got a really cool version of the date book, and it's kind of sub rosa still. I might have put it on my membership, but it uses just one calendar page, so you can just stick it in a deck of cards as like a tip-in card. You show them the calendar and you say, what's your lucky card? And they tell you, and that's the only card that says happy birthday on the back. And imagine if it has a cupcake and a candle on it.
Candle on it, exactly.
I mean, here, I'll show you. Let me see. Here, where am I? Sometimes I lose myself. This is the concept. So someone can just say, you say, what's your birthday? And this is 26 cards. And it looks like 31 different ones. And then this is an invisible deck, or more specifically a Brainwave deck. The Joker covers it, but all of the cards here say happy birthday on the back. But from here, I just spread through. I count to their birthday. So if their birthday's the 13th, I count to the 13th card, and their card is face up.
It's got the different back, and it's got happy birthday. That's great.
So that's a Doug Kahn original that's not sub rosa anymore. Whoops.
Love it.
But yeah, I'll be using the birthday cards for that. I'm sure magicians around the world will find uses for these birthday cards over the next coming months. And I bet on your insider page, that's where you'll find those ideas. Huh? Would magicians share the uses for a birthday deck there? Is that something that could happen?
They certainly can. There are lots of non-magicians also on the insiders page, but it is private, so we can.
I forget that we're not in the magic geek universe. We're transcending to also the card collecting geek universe tonight. So
that is correct. That's
right.
A
narrow-minded viewpoint. All right, man. Well, I'm going to thank you once again. And if you'll hang out for just a moment so I can say goodbye to you in the back, I'm going to send you off, and I'm sure everyone will say thank you with me as I kick you to the back. And thanks again, Chris. And let me thank once again all the kindred spirits for joining us tonight on this Saturday for the birthday back deck launch. And as mentioned, it'll be hasta la vista for me next week, so you won't see me at the regular time slot Wednesday at 4. I will be on the masterclass tomorrow with Vanishing Ink. We're doing the Vanishing Ink masterclass this month, wrapping it up tomorrow. That's Sunday at 2 o'clock Eastern. Monday night with the Magic Guys, and if you're in the ends, I'll be on the Discord jamming with the kindred spirits now. Congrats to Benny Weber for winning the decks, and happy birthday to me. I'm going to go play. It's been a pleasure hanging with y'all. I'll see you next time. Ciao.